tight race, heartbreak.
The Bristol Motor Speedway in eastern Tennessee, one of NASCAR's most famous tracks, and tonight hosting some of its most famous personalities in a very special event. This racetrack's been around since 1961 in the hills of East Tennessee. It's changed a lot over the years, growing with the sport's growth. But some of those who helped write some of the important chapters in stock car racing's history have come back for a special race on a Saturday night.
ESPN, the world's leader in motorsports coverage, presents the first race of the new millennium is moments away.
ESPN welcomes you to the Saturday Night Showdown at Bristol. A race for fun to benefit charity with some of stock car racing's all-time greats climbing back behind the wheel. 12 drivers accounting for 244 major stock car wins have come back to Bristol Motor Speedway, a place where they've created so much history, names any longtime fan of stock car racing knows by heart. While most have been long retired from competitive action, they're here to feel the thrill of the fight and bask in the spotlight at one of the sport's great venues. And make no mistake, they all intend on taking home the trophy at the end of the night. And down here in the middle of this great concrete coliseum, I'm Alan Bestwick. Thanks for joining us for our Saturday Night Showdown at Bristol. With the possible exception of Brett Favre, when high-level athletes retire from competition in their sport, it's rare to see them back on the field of play. Imagine watching Hank Aaron or Willie Mays walk up into the batter's box, or Terry Bradshaw or the Steel Curtain defense go out onto the football field once more. Well, that's going to happen right now as 12 drivers who've written so much stock car racing history climb back behind the wheel here at one of the sport's great venues. Yes, they're racing to raise money for charity. Yes, they're here to have fun. But I can tell you now, what separates this from other old-timers days is that they're going to do it at over 100 miles an hour. And by the way, I'm glad they're not too close to me to hear me say Old Timers Day, because I'd probably get slugged. The schedule for the day, a couple of minutes behind schedule, because the Nationwide Series race of earlier has run a little bit overtime. So the drivers going out onto the racetrack now just to get their first few minutes of warm-ups in these cars that they'll run here today. Then they'll bring them down pit road, introduce them to the crowd that's here, and then turn them loose for 35 laps here on the world's fastest half mile. Some of the color schemes longtime fans of NASCAR will well recognize as these drivers head out for some warm-up laps. These cars that they're running are not cars that they've brought with them. These are cars that the Bristol Motor Speedway has put together that normally run on the USAR Pro Cup Series. There's David Pearson, the Silver Fox, and boy, what a familiar paint scheme that is to longtime fans of NASCAR racing. Pearson getting ready to go. He was supposed to run this race a year ago, was not able to be in it because of a little back problem, but he's back here today, and he's looking for a trophy here at Bristol. Still waiting to head out onto the racetrack, Cale Yarborough, one of the all-time greats of the sport. And for more on the story of Cale Yarborough, and boy, his many accomplishments here at Bristol, let's go down to pit road and Dr. Jerry Punch.
Well, Alan, Cale Yarborough is tied for second all-time with wins here at Bristol Motor Speedway. 9 victories, tying Dale Earnhardt Sr. and Rusty Wallace. When I talked to Cale a moment ago, as they were buckling me in the car, he was smiling from ear to ear. He said, "Doc, it's just like I've never left. I'm excited to get back in the car. I want to get on the racetrack, and I want to be in victory lane for win number 10 when this day is over." These guys are serious about getting back on the track and reliving some great memories here of NASCAR at Bristol.
So much attention last fall when Jimmy Johnson was about to break his record for consecutive championships in stock car racing, and he was in this race a year ago, and he came out of it with a huge smile. And Cale said last fall, when so many people were talking to him, he said, "I want to do it again." Well, he's here tonight and about to head out onto the racetrack for some warm-up laps. We mentioned last year's race. The drivers went at it last year in a similar event, 35 laps here on the Bristol half mile. Some of them racing cars that they had prepared and brought themselves, some in cars that others had prepared. It was quite a night here at Bristol 1 year ago.
We're going to watch some drivers whose legendary careers span some 5 decades climb back in a race car.
You got to sit back in your house, pull your seatbelts down, and get ready for a shootout.
Green flag. Rusty Wallace making a move inside.
Rusty's headed toward the front.
Here comes comes LD Ottinger now getting racing. I guess you never forget about how to ride a bicycle or drive a race car. And LD Ottinger's getting it done. And Sterling Marlin has led from the drop of the green flag. Comes back in a Legends race and wins it at Bristol.
Live back at Bristol Motor Speedway, getting ready for the Saturday night showdown at Bristol. A couple of final warm-up laps ongoing for some of the 12 legends who are going to run 35 laps here tonight. Let's hear from some of them who've already finished their warm-ups. Vince Welch is standing by. Vince, who you got?
With Larry Pearson, a two-time Nationwide Series champion. He won a couple of races here at Bristol. And Larry, you went out for some practice laps. How did it feel to be back out in the car here?
Oh, it felt great. I got a really good car, and it's a little on the tight side, but I'm sort of scared to mess with it right now. I made that mistake last year.
Is that the car or the driver that was a little on the tight side?
Excuse me?
The car or the driver was a little on the tight side?
Well, the driver's been tight all day. But, no, the car's just a little on the tight side in one end. I'm good down here in 3 and 4, but down in 1 and 2 it's a little tight. But I want to take this opportunity to thank Swisher International for coming on board with me again this year. And hopefully we'll get them a lot of exposure.
We mentioned that you'd won a couple of times here at Bristol. What's a moment that stands out specifically for you?
Honestly, it wasn't when I won, but the time that I probably 85, 86, maybe 87. I don't really know. It's too long ago. But me and Dale Earnhardt, when he was driving the old Chevy 2, I think he had, me and him battled most of the race, and that was a lot of fun. But I've always loved coming to Bristol. It's a great track. I've always ran really, really well here. I only have 2 wins, but I should have a lot more. But you know, it's just a lot of fun to come back, and I really appreciate Bristol Motor Speedway for putting this on for us and letting us come back up and race.
Thanks, Larry. Great to see you. Larry Pearson. Let's go to Jamie Little.
And Rick Wilson, another one of those legends. He's had a couple laps out there already, working up the sweat in the car right now, but he too has some great memories here. Back in 1989, he won his first Nationwide Series, what was then the Busch Series, from the pole. What a day that must have been. What was that day like for you back in 1989?
Well, it was one of them days that just, kind of unreal. The car was so great. I mean, about anywhere we could go. Charlie Henderson, the Food Country gang, gave me a great car that day. And, it's just one of those days you look back and say, boy, that was a perfect race car.
Well, Rick, I got to ask you, I see the sweat building up on your face. You've been out there a couple laps. What was it like?
Oh, I tell you what, it's great to be back here at Bristol. First time I've been here since they redid the track. And, hey, it's still a great racetrack. Got a great race car. Food Country car is going to be good today.
Hey, have a great time. Rick Wilson in the 75 car. Doc?
Let's see if you know who this is in this car here. Now, we're going to give you a shot of the shoes. Now, driving, there's the floorboard, and he is wearing wingtips. Who was it always drove wearing wingtips and that coveted Goodyear hat? Well, none other than Dave Marcus. And the 69-year-old Wausau, Wisconsin driver is back in the car, and he has turned some pretty quick laps. Dave, how's it feel to be back in a race car?
Feels really good. I mean, better than I thought.
You got up to speed pretty quickly. You think you got a good shot at pulling this one off?
Well, I mean, you never know, Jerry. A lot of us haven't driven in a long time. I mean, I haven't driven since I retired. Of course, I've done IROC cars up till the fall of '06. But the car feels good, and I feel comfortable in it. And, got it up to speed pretty quick. I'm happy with it.
And you got him. You're one of the youngest guys in the field at 69.
Is that right? Well, maybe that's an advantage, huh?
Hey, have some fun, Dave.
All right. Thank you, Jerry. And I want to say hi to everybody at Camp 28 in Rib Lake.
All right, Dave Marcus coming down. He's retired up in Wisconsin running a hunting camp. Let's go to Alan Bestwick.